My heart was ripped out. I couldn't believe that he was taken away, at such a young age.
Stephen Torres and his dad loved to have fun. They often played cards, kickball, and hide and seek together. Sadly, those good times came to an abrupt end when Stephen's dad died.
Unfortunately, God took him, at the age of 38 due to cancer. It felt like, we were losing everything.
Stephen grew up in church and begged God for an answer about why his dad died. He felt he never got one and thought God had abandoned him.
I think my logic was, I'm pushing you away. I'm going to do this on my terms,
From his teen years through college, he lived for the next party.
I was going to hang out with my friends or my fraternity brothers. The drinking and the numerous relationships with, females. I felt like I was on top of the world. Even though I had all these people, all these associations, all the girls, I felt like I felt alone.
After college, he married and divorced. He often felt compelled to pray, but was determined to ignore the urge.
I think I didn't want to face the answer, why God did what he had to do, take my father away at such a young age. I was, I think, afraid to hear that, that there was even some type of purpose or something good of it, because at the time I didn't feel that there was no goodness why you took my dad away.
At age 37, something happened that shook his world.
They announced that they found a tumor, a lump, at the time that it was cancerous. And it was ironically almost the same age as my father. And that was like the red flag that came into my life, and I was very scared. I reached out to God. Please, don't, do this, right now. I don't want my kids to grow up, without a father.
Stephen went through treatments for cancer and the tumor shrunk. Once the cancer was gone, he stopped praying.
I felt like, God didn't really answer me the first time. I think this is all my doing. I got this under control. I'm going to, get my treatment, follow what the doctor says and do, Again, with my logic, it's going to be on my terms.
The cancer returned 4 months later. Stephen was confident he could beat it.
Didn't have that much fear, it ended up going for another about 6 months of treatment, radiation and chemo. They said they got everything.
After a few months, the cancer returned yet again. By now, Stephen was tired and scared. The cancer had metastasized to his stomach and was becoming more aggressive.
I was like, this can't be. Overwhelming, bawling, crying, very upset.
Stephen saw on Facebook that a girl he knew from the 4th grade, Sean, had posted scripture.
Started to read more that day, and within an hour as I'm sitting there, I started to feel like very at ease and very comfortable and peaceful. And it was almost like a light switch went off in me. That void I was missing was always there all along, that it was God. That he had been reaching out and talking to me and trying to get my attention.
A few days later, Sean sent Stephen an encouraging message.
And God's going to take that cancer and he's going to crumble it up like a piece of paper and throw it away like into the dumpster.
The next Sunday, Stephen made a decision. For the first time in years, he attended church.
Remember the pastor praying. As he was praying, he was talking, but it wasn't his voice that I was hearing. And to me, I felt like it was God speaking. And I knew then that everything that I had in my heart, my body and soul, was all to God.
3 days later, Stephen heard the best news of his life.
They did some blood work. There was nothing in my body. And I was so, I started, crying like a little kid, that, knowing that, wow, that he took that away out of me.
Since 2010, the cancer has not returned. Stephen started spending time reading the Bible and learning who God really is. His friendship with Sean also developed, and eventually, they married. These days, Stephen has a completely different outlook on life.
The Stephen Torres back then, I didn't need God. the Stephen Torres now knows that you grow more with God in your life.
Through prayer and scripture, he finally found peace with God about his father's death.
What can't be provided to you here by your earthly parent or your earthly father, that he will provide to you if you believe. That's all he wants, is to have that relationship with you.